Welcome to Subramani. Please subscribe. I want to increase the number of subscribers. This is a very difficult video for me to make because I'm going to tell you something in which I personally may not be 100% in belief, but it is necessary to be said at some stages of our investing life and of our markets. I think we are at that stage in our markets. First of all, let us admit that equity is a very wonderful thing because it helps you achieve your big goals, including retirement goals. Because if you don't have equity exposure, then your corpus that you need for your retirement is going to be super humongous and huge, right? Very difficult to put together such a big corpus. And the fact that you put in a small amount which grows to a big amount thanks to the power of compounding and the power of equity returns is what allows you to put a small amount and still plan to retire, or put a big amount and make it very big so that you can retire comfortably and live long, maybe 30-40 years. This is the first time it's happening in humankind that you may spend 40 years in retirement and not just 20 years like your elders may have spent. I've seen people die at the age of 92, which means they have spent 32 years in retirement. What happens to somebody who dies at 105? Then you're talking of 45 years of retirement. Sorry, I digress, but the large thing is to say, yes, equities are very good, very attractive, and they make it possible for you to achieve your results. But having said that, it does not mean you should carry on your love for equities a little too far. I recently met an entrepreneur who is doing reasonably well. He has a decent net worth and his father is about to retire, or he may have just retired. And this boy wanted to put all his father's money into equities, not into his own business, but into the equity market, saying, oh, equities will give better returns and my father will not have to pay tax because he is now retired, and so dividends don't matter. It's okay to invest in dividend yield companies, etc. His whole mind was ready as to what to do, and I had to pull him back and said, look, please understand that equities have their limitations too. Maybe your father is psychologically, physiologically, mentally, financially not really prepared for investing in equities, right? So he is retired, his mother is about to retire maybe in a couple of years. And I said, maybe they are not ready for so much of equity. So the fact is, you are taking risk with your life and your money by putting it in equities. Your parents' money should not be in equities. Maybe only 20-30% should be in equities, because all the risk is something which you are taking, and you are the only son, so you are anyway going to share your prosperity with your parents. So it's not necessary that your parents should take risk in equity. Having said that, I realize that one thing which has happened is equity makes us all very greedy, because we look at those returns of 18%, 21% and all, and we think, wow, this is so easy. Why should we be doing anything other than investing in equity? So go buy. Social media is full of people urging you to leverage and invest, right? So even if you were to deal with ICICI Direct or HDFC or anybody, the minute you try to buy something, there is some prompt saying that here you can leverage and buy more, right? So there is huge amount of greed in us, and equity has an amazing ability to wake that up and say, look, let's get greedy, right? Because we equate money with success, and we think anybody who is rich is very good, very great, very smart. So whether it is Musk or Bill Gates or Buffett or anybody, we want to be like them. We want to have that kind of money. Then we look at how have they achieved it, and the answer is equity. So we are in love with equities. There is a problem, like, you get overawed by equity and you get carried away. For example, a car lover can be tempted into changing his car every 2 years, right? So it might be ruining him financially, it might be ruining his other objectives. He may not be able to retire early, his family may be fretting and fuming as to why you're buying so many cars. That's a different thing. but he's got addicted. But a sensible car buyer might use it for 11, 12 years. So I couldn't think of a better example. Similarly, somebody who likes real estate, he keep on buying, selling, right? They don't sit idle. They'll say, oh, it is not worth keeping a house in Vashi. Let me shift from Vashi to Nerul, or Nerul to, let's buy some property in Delhi or Chennai, or because they love real estate. It's not to say that you don't need a house. All of us need a house. Maybe we need an office, but it can't become an obsession. So similarly, equity has now become an obsession, and must thank the social media also for pushing so many people into equity. And that is where it gets worried, because once you are in love with equities, like this young entrepreneur was, he saw that for him to enter the business field was because of the jump that he had in his equity portfolio. So he thinks all his father's money should go into equity, his mother's money should go into equity. This is not true. When you fall in love with some thing, then you're willing to pay a higher and higher price, and in your mind you start saying stories of how it's okay to buy at a PE of 35, it's okay to buy at a PE of 40. You start justifying PE ratios, PV ratios, businesses, saying how Nestle is the greatest company, how Asian Paints will make money for you in the long run, how you can never go wrong with HDFC Bank, right? You go today to Google and say best shares to buy in India, it will show up Asian Paints, Pidilite, etc., maybe Nestle. So see what returns you have got in the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and it may not be too good. And if it is too good, it's more scary because it may not get repeated. Remember the mutual fund ad which says mutual funds are subject to market risk, and the past performance is not an indicator of what is going to happen in the future. So don't get carried away. Equity is good overall, there is no doubt about that. I would put equity at say 70 out of 100, but remember there is a 30 which has got missed out. That is because at this stage of your life, if you want to take a 10-year view or a 12-year view, I would recommend equity. But a 3-year view in equity today looks to be very difficult to take, because you don't know how the central banks, etc., are going to behave. So understand that equity is great. Equity helps you achieve your objectives, but everything is not equity. So depending on your ability, on your risk profile, on your asset allocation, keep reallocating and see how much you want to be in equity. Don't get carried away. The feel rich, get rich quick is something which is kindled by equity. And a lot of social media people will say you can never go wrong with ITC, you can never go wrong with Hindustan Lever, you can never go wrong with Nestle. Maybe you can't go wrong, but you may not go right too, because you're not investing to not go wrong, but you're going to invest to get right and get a good return. So yes, remember asset allocation. Naren keeps saying that in every interview of his. So stick to that. Take your asset allocation. Don't copy my asset allocation. I will be stupidly 95% in equity. You decide what gives you comfort. Based on that, create your portfolio. Thank you.